Yeah, this is Chief Mike Eddins with the Nassau County Fire Rescue Department here to give us a briefing on this.
Nassau County Fire Rescue Department, the incident commander for this event. This will be our 6:45 update. We still have crews actively out in the brush fire area working to continue the mock-up and containment, working close with our Florida Forest Service partners. Again, what we want to make sure is that we let people know that we've got 2 active shelters. One is at the Brightsville Baptist Church, and then our second shelter is at the First Baptist Church in Callahan. One of the things that we want to emphasize to citizens is that we don't have any definitive time currently when people will be allowed back into their homes. We've got a lot of infrastructure damage to the power lines, and we don't feel it's safe until after sunrise to make those assessments. So we're asking for the public to be patient with us. Once we get those preliminary damage assessments completed, then we'll try to make a determination when we can let people back into their homes. Again, we're looking at approximately 400 acres that were involved in this event. Initial estimates put the damaged structure somewhere between 10 and 15, and we will be preparing and working throughout the days to continue crews working in those areas to get us back where we need to be.
How much is the wind and the nor'easter that's brewing? Is that affecting this at all?
We are planning for it now. The projected winds today are going to be somewhere between 15 to 20 miles an hour, and we expect some surface winds maybe upwards of 30. So it is a great concern for us as we move into the afternoon hours that it will hamper our ability to contain some of the fire.
Still no evidence of injuries to any people or firefighters?
No. We've had some minor injuries to some of our first responders out here, nothing significant, and we've had no reports of injuries or casualties to any civilians.
Still 50% contained?
Florida Forest Service is still reporting 50% contained.
And when you talk to the people at the front lines out there, what is their biggest challenge right now?
Working in the nighttime environment, obviously, visibility, working in and around crews, just limited awareness of what's going on, and being able to see what they're up against.
Do we have residents refusing to leave their homes? And if so, what can be done?
No, everybody in the community has been very supportive and understanding. They've volunteered to leave their homes. The only thing we can do is really encourage them and let them know, hey, listen, we don't want you to be a victim should this thing flare up and get us in a position where we can't get to you. We want you to get out ahead of this thing and be safe.
Still confident it's not spreading anymore?
At this current moment, because of the weather conditions and the assets that we do have, we're able to contain it. As the weather begins to pick up, we're not sure how it's going to flow from there.
Would that ignite you guys asking from help from other? I know you have a lot of different counties out here, but are you going to be able to ask for more help from other people? What is this going to turn into, and how many agencies?
Asking if they need more help, more apparatus.
Right now, we've currently got 5 different agencies out here that are represented. Again, we'll continually assess the situation throughout the day, and if we need to request additional regional assets, we'll push those up.
Explain the shifts out here.
Florida Forest Service does have an air asset that we will deploy later in the day to give us some aerial reconnaissance. I'm not sure if they have requested any air assets to be able to combat this fire.
Yeah, Chief, if you just explain the shifts out here. We've seen trucks come and go, obviously filling up. We know this is quite a undertaking to have them go out there well rested and also fueled up.
Right here in Nassau County, we've done a full recall of all of our department personnel. Again, with our regional assets, what we've tried to do is pair them into, we're working 12-hour operational shifts, and then we're rotating crews every 5 hours.
Is this the biggest fire that Nassau County has seen in recent history?
Since the wildfires of '98, it's very reminiscent of that, but this is the largest fire that we've seen since then.
Most destructive?
Yes, sir.
Do we expect any more evacuations today?
It will all depend on the weather. Hopefully we've gotten the message out ahead of this to let the residents know, hey, this is the affected area. We need you out in front. But should the need arise, we do have assets that are ready to respond to get in there and evacuate those folks.
Are there school closures? What were the families doing?
We are on spring break this week, so we don't expect the schools to be impacted, from that aspect. And hopefully a lot of families are out on vacation, again, so lessening our impact as far as evacuations are
Possibly concerned. A blessing, in a sense.
Yes, sir. Definitely a blessing that we had people out of the area.
All right, Chief, thank you.
Yep,
Thank you.
Again, Chief Mike Eddins with the Nassau County Fire Rescue Department, the incident commander of this incident. Unfortunately, not a huge update, just our normal 6:45 update this morning, letting us know that crews are still out there on the front lines fighting this fire, still considered 50% contained, 400 acres. Couldn't give us a lot about if the fire is considered to have spread or not. He says he's keeping a close eye on the weather conditions. Certainly hope it doesn't spread, but 50% contained, 400 acres, and that number we've been hearing between 10 and 15 homes, unfortunately, lost from this. The most important thing, however, no injuries to any civilians, and he said just minor things with first responders, the kind of things you'd expect fighting such a fire like this. Brave work by all our first responders tackling this right now. Let's go back to you guys in the studio.